welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. Welcome to a very special pick a card reading on the topic of your life 6 months from now. I've been receiving a lot of text messages, emails, and DMs from you guys requesting that I have a look into the future. A lot of you have future-prone anxieties, which is understandable during times of massive social transitions. So, I just thought that today I would tap into the wisdom of Egyptian gods. They will be the ones that I will summon, the ones under whose guidance I'm going to create this reading. For some reason, recently, I've been diving very deep into Egyptian mythology, Egyptian lore, and I've also received this beautiful Egyptian tarot deck from one of you beautiful subscribers as a gift. So I thought I would put it into the service of the collective to see what messages we are able to tap into. You have a choice of 3 different gods today. So this reading is created under the benefic rulership of the goddess Hathor, the mistress of harmony. She is the goddess of beauty, home, fertility. And we also have, of course, the supreme god Ra, the power of the sun. They are watching over protectively over this beautiful reading here, but you can choose 3 other gods. We have here for group 1, if you are seeking the guidance of Lord Anubis, then you are looking for some sort of protection from evil spirits, from a dark night of the soul, from negative energies. Anubis was a master embalmer. He was assisting bodies in the transition to the afterlife. We have here for group 2, if you're seeking the assistance of god Osiris, this is the god king of the underworld, the master of death and rebirth. He had to be killed by his brother and pieced back together by his wife Isis in order to be reborn and to become the ruler of the underworld. He is the epitome of magic and of a peaceful afterlife. He represents here commitment, acquisition, and responsibility. So this is for group 2. And for group 3, we have Thoth. This is the master scribe to the gods. He is an intelligent, intellectual force in a period in time, in ancient times, when the majority of the population of Egypt was illiterate. It was considered to be a godlike capacity to be able to read and write and to record the ideas, the hymns, the songs, the rules of gods and pharaohs and those that were in command on pieces of papyrus. And Thoth represented the symbol of thinking. He is also the equivalent of the god Hermes or Mercury in Greco-Roman lore. So if you're seeking wise guidance in this period, then you might want to appeal to Thoth for insight into what is coming up for you in the next 6 months. How will your life look like? I have here the Egyptian Tarot, which I'll be live shuffling for you guys, and I'm also going to be live shuffling from the Priestess of Light Oracle, and I also have here the Sibyl's Oraculum, the Oracle of the Black Doves of Africa. I felt very inspired to use these oracle decks to ask for additional clarification. So let's bring some light into your life. Let's see how will your life look like in the future, 6 months from now. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video, you subscribe, you check the links in the description box below. I have so much information, knowledge, clips, videos, educational material that you can access, so make sure that you take advantage of that. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the oracle and tarot decks that I am using here, have a look at my Amazon affiliate links. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get to it. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. I'm so happy that you're able to join me here today for a reading on the topic of your life 6 months from now. This was requested by you guys and I thought I would put my skills into your service today. So this reading is for those of you that felt particularly drawn to working with the energy of God Anubis, the Lord of Protection. Before I dive into your reading, we're going to invoke him because we need to pay our respects to this God so that we may fruitfully work with his energy. So I have here my white sage wand. I have a white candle lit already for protection. I'm just going to burn the white sage. And I'm going to say the following prayer from the God's Untitled Oracle book. He who is on his mountain, he who is under his sand, he who is in the place of embalming, he who is steward of eternal life, prepare for group 1, for his or her journey. Watch over him or her, teach him or her, assuage his fear or her fear, weigh his or her soul against ma'at, and may it be light-hearted. Show him or her mercy, and let him or her know of your care and goodness. As above, so below, as within, so without. God bless, so may it be. This is usually a prayer that assists people in the transition from life onto death. But in this case, don't freak out. This is about your fear of death, your fear of being obliterated. And I feel that if you were particularly drawn to Anubis, there might be some negative energies that are scaring you in this period. Maybe blocking your manifestations, maybe giving you sleepless nights and nightmares. You might be overwhelmed with worries about the future. You might even think that the future is not something you are looking forward to. So let's see how we can change that energy, baby. Because if anything, the Egyptian gods are masters of transmutation, masters of changing negative energy into positive energy. So let's see what the Egyptian tarot has to say first of all. I'm going to pull 2 cards for you. And then we have the High Priestess Oracle. I'm going to pull 1 card for you. Please bear with me while I shuffle these cards, but I want to do it live with you so I can capture your energy and use it to give you a reading that will resonate very strongly with you. While I am shuffling, feel free to have a look at all of the links that I place below for your viewing pleasure. So let's see the cards. We have here the Page of Cups blocked. We have here the 2 of Wands. You're at the crossroad. A decision needs to be made. Let's see what message of light we have from the Priestess of Light. Go within. Go within. No, that's not a mistake. Go within. You've been spending too much energy projecting things outwards onto other people, looking for something external of you, when there is something here inside of you that you need to take care of. Go with the flow in this process. Letting go, cleansing, and receiving. And let's see, what are you supposed to let go? Florem, rage, anger, pent-up anger that leads to melancholy, it leads to sadness, it leads to weird moods. You could be having moments when you're feeling really good because you're on top of that energy, you're coping with it, you're facing it. And then days when you're dissociating yourself from that energy, you don't want to have anything to do with it, you don't want to face it, you don't want to do a deep self-analysis. And you're pushing it to the side and it ends up unconsciously overwhelming you with low moods. To a large extent, sadness, melancholy, low energy is a form of rage that is turned against yourself and kept inside rather than expressed outwardly towards the people, the groups, the social institutions that are upsetting you and creating this rage inside of you. Because emotions are always constructed in these interchanges that we have with other people. We don't just wake up one day and we decide, this is the emotion that I want to have. Although cognitive behavioral therapy would tell us that indeed there is some truth there to the idea that you can preset your mind to feel a certain emotion. But most of the time when we go out in society, we talk to people, we look at them, we interact with them, we act together with them, and they also influence our feelings. And I think this is the case in your situation. There is some problem here of an emotional nature, and I feel that 6 months from now your life is going to lead to an emotional cleansing. You will have let go of that thing that is weighing you down so much. 6 months from now you will find yourself with 2 important possibilities, 2 courses of action. Maybe at the moment you feel stuck. You might be feeling like there's not much happening in my life. How can I move my life forward? And I can see here that 6 months from now, you will have an important decision to make between two very good options. I see here two emotional options as well. A potential meeting with a younger water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I see here the opportunity of having a child, taking care of a child, adopting a child, or just working with a child that will prove to be incredibly healing for your heart. You are going to go with the flow in the next 6 months. This lunar energy that is taking place this week, the energy under which I'm filming this reading, with Jupiter gone direct, with a new moon in Sagittarius conjunct Venus and Mercury, is going to keep growing for you, and it will release a burden on your shoulders. You are going to be done with a heavy responsibility that you are currently involved in. If you're feeling low on energy, your energy levels are going to bring themselves back to a state of balance. Unfortunately, I don't really see here phenomenal happiness. I see that you will come to a state of calm, a state of inner peace rather than internal conflict. And I feel that you will have to make a choice between either one water sign and an earth sign, or two equally emotionally fulfilling water signs. There is something here about age difference. There is something here about choosing a particular person, and then understanding that the moment when you make this choice, your life is not going to be the same again. I keep hearing something like there is a weird battery sound from my laptop, so it's almost like you're feeling that time is ticking. Let me pull one more card to clarify it, because I'm understanding that it's a bit too little, too less, too few. That's what I'm hearing. You're worried about having too little, being too little, not being good enough. You're worried about time ticking. You're worried about not having options in love, and you're filled with anger. There is a feeling here of, I want to create, why am I being blocked left and right? Okay, so I pulled some more cards for you, and we have here the Five of Swords blocked. I love to see the Five of Swords blocked, but at the same time, it could talk about internalizing conflict, internalizing some things that are better said out loud. You need to have a very tough confrontation with somebody in your life, and 6 months from now, you will already have passed through this. You will have spoken your truth, and you would have liberated your energy. So I feel that this cycle will help you move from a state of internal conflict to a state of peace. Move from your masculine energy into more receptive feminine energy. You're going to create more peace in this lunar cycle. And I have here as well the Nine of Cups. There we go. That's the happiness that I preempted earlier on. This is what I said. I kind of had a card in mind when I said that I don't see here full-blown happiness, but here it is, right on the table. It dropped here. Emotional fulfillment, self-satisfaction, a wish coming true. 6 months from now, you will find yourself in a much more peaceful state because a wish will have come true. And I think that for the majority of you that have chosen the protection of God Anubis, you want a wish fulfillment in love. You want to have options in love. You want to feel loved, desired, and chosen. And I feel that this will happen. It is a process. Be patient with it. It takes some time to let go of this rage. It takes some time to walk out of your deeply masculine, competitive, conflicting energy. You will tap into more of this divine feminine energy, my love, and you will be able to resolve this internal conflict. You will see that you are desired by two equally good partners, and you will have to make a choice between the two of them, and the choice is going to make you very, very happy. 6 months from now, if you're feeling single as a Pringle right now, 6 months from now, you're going to be spoiled for choice, and you're going to make a decision that will feel like a romantic love wish coming true. This is the reading that I had for you. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and have a look at all the links that I placed down below for you. Take care. Hey group 2, hello my loves. Welcome to your reading on the topic of your life 6 months from now. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you are blessed. And if you're not, we're going to work on changing your energy. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the protective energy of God Osiris, the god of rebirth. Before I dive into your cards, much like I did with group 1, I'm going to have to say a prayer to invoke the energy of God Osiris. We have to pay our respects if we want to work with the energy of this powerful God. So I'm going to read a prayer from the Gods and Titans Oracle book before I begin your reading. Osiris, you are Lord of the dead, but also Lord of rebirth. Strip from me what holds me back. And in this death, this void of hope, allow a new path to grow for me. The spell actually says that we need to give him some seeds in order to help with your renewal process. I don't have specific seeds, but what I do have is a rosebud, a pink rosebud with some rose seeds. So I'm going to open it up for you. And I'm going to Mighty Osiris, grant complete fertility to these seeds. May they sprout, may they grow, may they reach their ripeness. Then may I harvest them for Group 2's greatest good. God bless, so may it be. Wonderful, now we can begin with your reading. I'm going to pull some cards from the Sibyl's Oraculum and from the High Priestess Oracle. I'll begin with the Oracle cards. For some reason, I feel the need to begin with Oracle energy for you. You could be in a transitional stage in your life at the moment, and maybe this is why you are drawn to God Osiris. As I live shuffle, please bear with me. Have a look at the links that I placed down below, but I want to make sure that I am capturing your energy and we're creating this reading together so that it is more powerful and more resonant for you. Now I'm going to pull some cards from the Egyptian Tarot. So let's see, what will change for you? We have here the Ten of Wands. Wow, so the end of a complete cycle of activity is upon you. In this period, you might be forced by circumstances to let go of the work you have been doing. Whatever you've been putting a lot of effort into has suddenly reached a stalemate, and you don't know how to proceed. You're a little bit scared of not knowing whether you have options to replace the type of work you have been doing with something else. But I see that you're also relieved. There is a feeling here of, I cannot keep doing this. I needed a break, but then I had to keep pushing and I had to keep working. I had to keep studying. I had to keep putting effort into this particular area of life and occupation, this activity that has been taking so much energy out of you, but it also has been draining you of life force. So I feel that the divine stepped in and took it away or created some problems. It could have been during the eclipse season that we had a couple of weeks ago, that something reached a culmination, a point almost like a tower energy, an aggressive and direct interaction or interference that made you change course. So I see that at the moment you're still in this period of being a little bit afraid, not knowing what activity to replace the activity that you have been doing, but also feeling peaceful, relieved, almost like you dropped a very heavy burden off your shoulder. I wanted to say shoulder quite quickly. So there is a feeling of impatience. There is a feeling of, can we just move on with things? And I want you to be very mindful of this energy because it's actively blocking your chances of prosperity and growth. So let's see, how can we work with this energy in a patient, careful, attentive way? Talk about patience. We have here the World. This is Saturn energy. This talks about the completion of a cycle. It talks about seasons of prosperity and then other seasons of drought. Seasons where you can reap the harvest of, your labor, and seasons where there is just no rain, there is no prosperity, no gain, no fruits for your labor. I see a success though, a big achievement, but you have to be patient with your manifestation. One of the core rules in the whole process of manifestation is that you put a lot of effort into it and then you detach from this energy, and you forgot that part, and this is why the universe had to intervene to detach you without your will or against your will from what you were doing, because you were misusing your willpower. You were pushing too hard, too heavy, and the universe said, stop. This is it. This is how much you can go. And similar to Osiris, because I feel you were unconsciously drawn to him for this particular reason, similar to Osiris, in order to reach a better level, you had to first go through something quite rough. In his case, it was his actual death. His brother Set killed him and broke him into many different limbs and created this energy of destruction and chaos in his life. But what happened is that Osiris, helped by his wife and his, I think it was his sister-in-law, if I'm not mistaken, Nephthys, together they searched the land and they put him back together. They pieced them back together. He had a really important job to do, which was to get Isis pregnant with Hathor, the god of light, with Horus, the god of light. So he had to die in order to reach a deeper role, reach a deeper level. Whatever he was doing, the way in which he was living his life, was not preparing him for the role of a father and then afterwards the leader of the underworld. He had to go through troubles, some issues, some complications. He had to have an encounter, a fierce encounter with the nemesis, his own brother, in order to actually ascend. He ascended by, paradoxically, disappearing, by being annihilated, by being broken down into pieces and then put back together. This is the process that's happening at the moment for you, and I feel that this is predominantly happening in your professional life group too. So let's see the final card that we have here for you. The sun. But the sun is overcast, it is blocked. There is a shadow looming over this entire process. It could be your own shadow. It could be certain aspects that you don't want to acknowledge about yourselves. Or yourselves. Is it you and somebody else in this situation? Let me pull one more card. The Wheel of Fortune blocked. Sagittarius energy, Jupiter, risk-taking. You took a risk on something, you gambled something and it didn't pay off. Or it didn't pay off as quickly as you wanted to. Let's remove the eclipse, shall we? Let's make the sun shine brightly again. There we go. 6 months from now, you're going to regain your vitality. You could be having some health complications at the moment. They will be resolved. I see here vitality, energy, but it's something different. I'm picking up on freshness. It's almost like you are watching grass grow and then you chop it off and you smell that fresh scent of grass. But at the moment, the land is parched and dry because it's winter, so there is no grass growing, or at least the grass is growing, but you can't see it because it's covered by mulch and snow and mud. Your fruits are going to give you the rewards that you are expecting, and I also think that it's your labor, better said, than your fruits. It's just a careful case of tending to what you have created. Let's see right now what the Priestess of Light has to say. Building your world, creation, expansion, and networking. You have to talk to more people. You have to get people to help you in this endeavor. Don't go at it alone. This is not a time to prove to the world how independent you are and how stoic. This is a time to ask people for help, to network, to communicate, to get information. This is a time to mend broken bridges. And in this way, you are going to become a leader, a true leader, somebody that talks with people around them. A person that respects other people's work and learns to do better in their own performance. Let's see here. What is the challenge? Defense. And this is Presidium. There is a certain defensiveness about you. You don't want to accept help. You are struggling, but you don't want to admit to other people that you're struggling. You're afraid that the competition might annihilate you. It won't. And even if people might annihilate you, much like Osiris was killed, they will only serve to make you better, more spiritually aware, more powerful. So 6 months from now, you're going to be a completely different person in your professional life. You will have transformed so importantly that when you look back, it's almost like you will have a before and after that event. The event is going to be created by somebody in your life that is older, potentially a Sagittarian. They will enter your life, they might challenge you. Allow the challenge to happen. Allow this transformation to take place, even if it could be painful to let go of this burden, to let go of the past. It will take you towards something so much more centered and powerful. You're bossing up. 6 months from now, you're gonna be your own boss. This is the reading that I had for you. I wanted to say the energy, but this is the reading that I had for you. Beautiful energy, group 2. Thank you so much for listening. Like this video, subscribe, have a look at the links in the description box, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Hey group 3, welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of your life 6 months from now. I'm so happy that you decided to drop by my channel and spend some time with me. Thank you so much for being here. This is for those of you that were drawn to the Egyptian god Thoth, the leader of reading, writing, transcription, the master of wisdom. Before I dive into your cards, I do want to say a prayer to invoke him so that we may respectfully work with his energy. I have some incense here. I'm going to burn it in order to cleanse the space. For the previous readings that I did, I had something different. I had some sage and some rose petals, but now incense is required to invoke Thoth. I'm going to read right now a prayer from the Gods and Titans booklet. Thoth, you who assisted Isis, husband of white-feathered Ma'at, you hold the knowledge of all books, of all numbers, of all thought. Allow me to understand in completeness what I need to know. Allow me to decide, to connect, to immerse myself in my own wisdom. Speak now. What should I do? Say an invocation and a wish right now. Say it out loud. Say it in your mind. Good. Thoth, eternally wise, I am grateful for your guidance. Eternally grateful. God bless. So made me. I had some problems lighting up this incense, which tells me that there are some problems here with you feeling energized, with you feeling dynamic. You might be feeling a little bit sluggish energetically in this period. You could be having some problems reading, writing, relaxing, absorbing knowledge, and maybe you need to. Maybe you are a student, maybe you're doing some sort of additional training, and it feels difficult for you in this period to concentrate. There could be some sort of emotional, psychological aspects that you have to deal with in this period, and they could be affecting your capacity to concentrate. Let's see what the cards have to say about how will you grow into this energy, or maybe even away from it. I'm going to live shuffle right now from the Egyptian Tarot. Please bear with me while I live shuffle. It's just that I want to capture your energy so that I can use it for this reading. And I would strongly recommend that you have a look at the links in the description box below while I shuffle for you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to use as well the Sibyl's Oraculum. Okay, this flew out. And also another message from the Priestess of Light Oracle, which is an oracle I absolutely love to work with. Okay, are you ready? Here are your cards. So we have here a lot of blocked energy, I have to say, guys, a lot of blocked energy. We have the Strength blocked. So there's something that you cannot keep under control at the moment. You're feeling a little bit vulnerable, or you might be in the grips of some sort of addictive behavior. There is something that is occupying your focus to such an extent that it's difficult to concentrate on something else. It doesn't have to be something terrifying. I don't think that you're addicted necessarily to hard liquor or substances. I think this is more about, you might want to play video games instead of studying. You might want to escape on YouTube instead of actually tending to the daily responsibilities that you have to do. You might need to practice for a sport or for music. You might need to finish a drawing, a sculpture, a creative project, and you just don't feel inspired in this period. It just feels a bit meh. And it's strange because I feel this is not who you really are. we will unblock the strength so that this beautiful, powerful, leonic energy is ravishing its way into your life again and helping you feel revitalized, waking you up, making you feel like life is under your control again, like you are not just a snowflake that is vulnerably being flinched from side to side. You actually hold the power. You decide what's going to happen. You tell people who's in control and who's in charge, baby. Yeah, so we have here the Strength card, cleansed. Now, let's see. Queen of Swords. I understand why you are going through this period. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy, most likely Libra. This is the principle of Ma'at, by which the Egyptians used to live. It is about decorum, following social rules, keeping everything in balance, and knowing your place. You have to put some people in their place. They have been stepping over your boundaries and really giving you a hard time to concentrate, to create, to be yourself, even to take care of your self-care routine. That's what I'm feeling. I feel a sense of inner tension and constriction. You're feeling very limited by circumstances at the moment. Maybe you have to share your living space with people that you don't like. Maybe you have to work steadily towards earning some money, or you're a student and you can't earn that much money because you have to study. Maybe you have to take care of a baby and you're living in a house with a partner that you don't enjoy. There are a variety of situations that could create this feeling of limit and restriction in your life. It's important for you to become aware of what exactly is causing you this feeling of repression, limitation, restriction, and then to actively work your way to get out of this. How will you achieve this? By communicating. In the next 6 months, you're going to grow in your capacity to express clearly, decisively, with authority, what you want and what you will not put up with. You will do it with compassion, with a sense of fairness. You're going to challenge the people around you to understand your viewpoint as well. If in the past you were extremely kind and empathetic, which are noble qualities to have, now you're going to blend your empathy and compassion with some fair truth speaking. You're going to start saying left and right, this is what I think you have done wrong. This is what I need you to do to repair the situation. Otherwise, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to close this connection. I'm going to go someplace else. I'm going to replace you. It's a really important moment of growth for you. You could be an empath. You could be a highly sensitive soul that has had enough. And this is what's creating this kind of negative energy, this sluggishness around you. The fact that you haven't been speaking your truth. You've been putting up with unbearable circumstances, and you don't have to. All you have to do is very clearly and decidedly tell people around you, this is what I want and this is what I will not put up with. It's going to feel very difficult on the emotional level. You going through these confrontations could even create some tremors in your body. Hold those tremors. Don't freak out when they appear in your body. I know it's easier said than done, but this is a moment when you can actually go through a magnificent growth spurt in your capacity of thinking and communicating. So allow this transformation to happen. I also see the High Priestess. You will become so much wiser. Those of you that are undertaking a course of study right now, writing your dissertation, writing essays, almost on the brink of completing your final year of studies, you will have phenomenal success, but it will be not necessarily very visible, the success. It will happen primarily inside of you. Your intuition, your hunches, your effort in absorbing knowledge will be confirmed. People will group up and they will give you the type of maybe accreditation, certificate, degree, confirmation that you need. You are both enhancing your capacity to feel and to allow the intuition to guide you, and your capacity to think and to clearly enunciate what is it that you want, what is it that you don't like, what do you stand for, what are your values. You are also developing a sense of humor. you're learning to put into words some of your idiosyncrasies, some of your contradictions, some of your faults. You're starting to acknowledge them and put them into words. And this is going to have a massive positive effect on the connections that you have with other people, because you're becoming more authentic and you're learning to take responsibility for your thoughts and your words, which in turn is going to change the way people speak to you. More respect is what you will garner in the next 6 months. So don't give up. Don't throw the rug in, because or the towel in, because I feel that you're going to grow into this mastermind, into this person that will not be able to get anything past her. People will not be able to lie to you anymore, because whatever you don't understand mentally and verbally, you will pick up in unspoken non-verbal clues. Even your dreams are going to tell you, look, this is what this person wants from you truly. Look, this is what is happening behind your back. So trust those, because it's a wonderful stage of self-development and growth. The challenge is play. Being playful in the next 6 months is going to be a challenge. Ludere, it's the Latin word for this concept of being a little bit playful in a very ludic way, in a dreamy, in a romantic, in an escapist way. You could struggle a little bit with this energy, but I see that ultimately, wow, earth magic, you're going to manifest something tangible, something real, something that you can show other people. It could be a certificate, it could be a new job, it could be a new partnership, it could even be a sense of self-confidence and improved willpower, authority. We see here the keywords: fearlessness and removing obstacles. There you go, my boo. There you go. You are going to ride on this white horse into the sunset as the victor that you are. In the next 6 months, get ready for a complete energetic transformation. If you feel like people are pushing you left and right, if you feel like they're disrespecting you, you will have had enough, and you will actually learn how to stand up for yourself by using written laws, rules, regulations, by appealing to people's sense of justice and fairness, and by using your capacity to put into words those impressions, those associations, those hunches that you've been having. Trust them, because they are real. Your hunches are real. You already know what's happening even before somebody confirms it. Confront people with the truth. Allow them to make a case for themselves, and if you see that they are continuing to lie to you, you will remove them from your environment and you will walk away into something much better with a lot more confidence. At the end of these 6 months, you will have more opportunities for fun and play, so don't worry. If you are in current circumstances where you feel a bit restrictive financially, or you have a lot of responsibilities at work and with study, they will complete in 6 months' time, or they will lessen, they will diminish, and you will have more opportunities to go out and have fun. This is what I see for you, my beautiful group 3. Make sure that you hydrate, because I felt the need to actually kind of change my voice, ingest my saliva to put it into words very bluntly. Make sure that you hydrate well in this period. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, have a look at the links in the description box below, and until next time, take great care of yourself, be blessed, and enjoy this transformation.